This is insane, ladies and gentlemen. Not only can our opponent not search, those special summon monsters cannot activate their effects. Totally awesome, kind of prevents any other things from going down. We also have a walking Raigeki on our side of the field. So anytime our opponent wants to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Nah fam, this is definitely a prank. This is a joke because they're not playing Yu-Gi-Oh! This deck is no joke. It has the ability to Harpie's Feather Duster and Raigeki them on your opponent's turn. It also has access to some of the most powerful cards inside of Thunder Dragon to prevent your opponent from playing Yu-Gi-Oh! I have to say, if you're looking for a very fun deck that's unorthodox to play, Prank Kids just might be the deck you were looking for. And in this video, I'm going to be giving you a competitive Prank Kids deck profile for the April 2019 format. I'm TheCaliEffect, and if you guys want to see more videos like this, then go and destroy that subscribe button. But more importantly, go ahead and that notification bell because, well, we just too strong. See, I didn't tap my bicep because it just would have been weird. Also want to give a special thanks to every single one of my Patreons. Without you guys, videos like this would not be possible. Also, a mad shout out to our newest Patreon, Taji. Welcome to the clan. And while we're here, everybody, go ahead and make sure to add me on Instagram and check out our Discord if you want to get to know the TheCaliEffect or just be a part of an awesome group that the TheCaliEffect has sponsored, is in. To the next thing. Without further ado, I present to you a competitive Prank Kids deck profile for this format. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, on to the stats. I think that Prank Kids is a solid tier 2 deck that boasts in control and being able to Harpie's Feather Duster and Raigeki your opponent's board. It has access to so many great combos, so many awesome ways to make it, but what it struggles in is consistency and extra deck space. Overall, I think that this is very much, again, a solid tier 2 deck and might be priced out of a lot of people's budget just out of the cards that you have to play, but still, nonetheless, if you do have these cards, you should consider playing it. Starting off with the monsters, we run 3 copies of Prank Kids Roxy's. I'm just gonna kind of blaze through the Prank Kids monsters. 3 Lampsies, 3 Dropsies, and 3 Fansies. The reason why we run these guys is pretty obvious. It wouldn't be a Prank Kids deck without them. The biggest monster that you might have a problem with is 3 copies of Prank Kids Roxy's because it requires you to banish a card in your hand and draw a card to special summon, but a lot of times you don't want to banish certain cards in your hand. We've actually had a way to mitigate that. Lampsies is amazing because it burns your opponent from damage. Dropsies gives you 1,000 life points, so in time situations you want to manipulate both of these guys to inflict damage to your opponent and gain life points, and Fansies get you cards in the graveyard for later combo sequences. That's pretty much it for the Prank Kids monsters, and the reason why the deck is so successful using both of these monsters for fusion and link summons, or all of these monsters for fusion and link summons to extend your boards, get you some really insane combos. For the Thunder Dragon engine, I run 2 copies of Thunder Dragon Dark and 2 copies of Thunder Dragon Hawk. A lot of players are running 1 and 1, and this is where I think that they're doing it wrong, because Prank Kid Roxy's is such a huge portion or a huge part of this deck, and you don't want to banish cards that necessarily don't get you anything. That's exactly where Thunder Dragon Dark and Dragon Hawk come in. If you have a Thunder Dragon Dark, well, congratulations, you have a free summon to your side of the field, which can be a Thunder Dragon Colossus. If it's Thunder Dragon Hawk, well, Hawk can actually help you fix those dead hands. So having targets to actually banish and draw a card and still gain advantage through effects is just really awesome, and these cards just play so well with the combos. Next is 2 copies of King of the Swamp. There was a point in time where I actually wasn't running this and I was running Reasoning, and the reason behind Reasoning was that I can summon a free Prank Kids monster to my side of the field. Plot twist, either my opponent would either call it right because 1 would be the proper number to call and I'll always hit Fansies, or I'd hit a monster like a Hand Trap or a Thanos or a Thunder Dragon and wouldn't wind up being able to play my Yu-Gi-Oh! I decided to opt out of the Reasonings and play King of the Swamp because I realized that getting Polymerization was probably the best thing to do inside of this deck. 2 copies of Thanos, Destroyer of Realities, or did I say Changer of Realities? Literally, this guy is the reason why you can play Yu-Gi-Oh! But if you guys can't afford him, it's perfectly fine. I understand $110 or $220 for 2 Thanos is kind of outrageous. You guys can play cards like extra hand traps like Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. Well, actually, I'm playing Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, but you can play Effect Veilers, Ghost Ogres, Dino Wrestler, Pranker Traps. Keep in mind, you don't have to play all of the expensive cards to still have fun in Yu-Gi-Oh! Last for the monsters is 2 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. I felt that this hand trap was better than Effect Veiler in this particular situation because anytime my opponent would summon a monster, I could just just Raigeki it anyways. I want to prevent you from searching those important cards. That is it for the monsters, ladies and gentlemen. For the spells, I might shock you when I tell you I only run 2 copies of Prinket's Place and 1 copy of Terraforming. I was actually running the exact full package with 3 Place and 2 Terraforming, and it was exciting. Until you draw multiple copies of Prinket's Place or multiple Terraformings and realize you can't play Yu-Gi-Oh! Because you have an extra dead card in your hand. Now, the reason why I decided to drop this as 2 is because there's so many ways to search for Prinket's Place, as well as being able to recur a monster to your side of the field. And on top of that, if you already have 2 Prinket's monsters in your hand, well, the Prinket's Place just kind of doesn't do anything for you. Nonetheless, you guys could decide to play 3 and 2 if you guys wanted to and just don't like my reasoning. There is a fusion recycling plant card that actually works really well and allows you to run set rotation too if you guys decide to choose so. I just opted against it because, well, this is already a 42 card deck. Next is 2 copies of Prinket's Place. I used to actually only run 1 of this card until I realized, wait, it's a freaking pot of average. You can shuffle 3 Prinket's cards to your deck and then draw a card, and it also gets you resources to your side of the field. I think it's pretty solid at 2. Only 2 copies of Pandemonium. This is the worst fusion in the deck, and the reasoning why is because after you activate this card effect, you can only summon Prinket's monsters for the rest of the turn. That actually stymies a lot of combos of your Nightmare Griffin, Totally Awesome, and Thunder Dragon Colossus boards, so you only want to run 2 of it, and then you can actually just search it. So it's just one of those cards that I felt was regulated at 2 at best. Next is 3 copies of Polymerization. Did I say it right? Probably didn't say it right. But I shouldn't have to explain this card. This is a fusion deck and I want to fuse as many times as possible. Invocation is literally just saying 5 copies of Polymerization, ladies and gentlemen. I don't play any invoked cards. I just have it because it's a Polymerization and it's ultimate rare and it looks shiny. 1 copy of Thunder Dragon Fusion. This was the card that you guys can actually drop out for either another Prinket's Place or another instant fusion or whatever, but I thought that this card was pretty interesting. It allows you to fusion summon a Thunder Fusion monster from your deck by shuffling the above fusion materials. Now, here's the crazy thing. I run King of the Swamp, which just so happens to substitute itself, allowing you to shuffle it into the deck to summon Thunder Dragon Colossus. But that's not where the fun comes in. You can actually shuffle your Lampsies, Dropsies, and Fansies to your deck to special summon, that's right, Battle Butler to your side of the field. And then also you can banish him from your graveyard, or banish this card from your graveyard to search a Prinket's monster or a Thunder Dragon card. I just thought that it was too good to pass up. And then since Denko Sekka is in the sideboard, you can use it to search Denko Sekka too. It's definitely a card that I'm playtesting with, and now that I think about it, I'm not 1000% sure if you can use King of the Swamp, but it just sounds good on paper. Lastly is only 2 copies of Instant Fusion. I realized 3 copies was definitely a brick. Opening 2 copies of this card wasn't what you wanted to do, but of course you wanted to see it because it gives you a fusion monster to your side of the field. I settled with 2. 3 copies of Called by the Grave to stop my opponent from hand dropping me, and then 2 copies of Prinket's Plan, arguably one of the better underrated cards in the deck because it allows you to shuffle all your Prinket's cards back into your deck and reduce your opponent's monster's attack, and allows you to link summon on their turn. That is it for the main deck. For the extra deck, we play 1 copy of Nightmare Griffin. So many combos involve making Nightmare Griffin on your side of the field and then locking your opponent out of using those special summon monster effects. Summon Sorceress helps you tutor into that. Prinket's Rip Roaring Roaster. This card's amazing for being, you know, I don't know, Harpie's Feather Duster. 2 copies of Prinket's Doodle Doodle Doo. Yes, I actually finally figured out how to say this card's name right. But upon its summon, it allows you to search a Prinket's Spell or Trap card, then allows you to recur resources by tributing it. 2 copies of Bow Wow Bark. This is actually essential for the Summon Sorceress combo. 1 copy of Prinket's Battle Butler. You only need 1 to be able to Raigeki your opponent's entire board. 2 copies of Thunder Dragon Colossus. I was actually only running 1 copy when I was running 1 Dragon Dark and 1 Dragon Hawk, whatever she is. And then I realized that you kind of can summon this multiple times. So I felt that 2 was a nice upgrade. Of course, you guys can always drop it down to 1. I don't see you making 2 in a game sometimes. Like, sometimes you just summon it because it's a big beater and it's free. Like, so it's like, you don't have to run 2, but I run 2 obviously because I can. 2 copies of Prinket's Rocket Ride, that's for extending combos, and 2 copies of Prinket's Weather Washer to extend combos on your opponent's turn. I think that the ratios for my Prinket's Fusions and Exceeds are okay. I think they're actually awesome. I wouldn't run it any different. There's so many ways to recur them back, and yes, 3 Rocket Ride and 3 Doodle Doodle Doo was probably the best way to do it, but to be honest with you guys, games don't even last long enough for you to go into your second Rocket Ride or your second Doodle Doodle Doo. 1 copy of Totally Awesome for the combo. That is it for the main board and the extra deck. I'm going to show you guys on the side screen the side deck. A card that I want to highlight is Denko Sekka it will dango wreck your opponent. Really good for those back row heavy decks, and is searchable through this deck by your Thunder Dragon Fusion if you decide to play it. Pretty much it. Other than that, it's pretty much all standard except for the skill drain, and skill drain is pretty self-explanatory. You can summon your Prinkets monsters, your Prinkets big monsters, and since they fusion effects tribute themselves to activate their effects, you can essentially dodge skill drain. But that's it for the monsters, the spells, the traps, the side deck, and the extra deck. Let me show you guys this insane combo I was talking about. Okay guys, so on to the combo tutorial. This is a 3-card combo that will blow your mind. Actually a 3.5 card combo, and if you have a specific card, it can be even more deadly. It's going to require polymerization in any 2 Prank-Kid monsters with different names in your hand, either Lampsies, Fansies, Roxies, or Dropsies. You're going to be able to make the exact same board. You're going to start off by activating polymerization using both Fansies and Lampsies for a fusion summon into your Prank-Kid's Rocket Ride. Now your Fansies effect is going to trigger, and typically with Fansies effect, you want to send Prank-Kid's Plan from your deck to your graveyard, and you also want to burn 500 damage in this particular situation, so you can spell summon 2 other Prank-Kid's monsters with different names to your side of the field. Use that to summon Dropsies and Roxies to your side of the field. From there on out, Prank-Kid's Rocket Ride is going to tribute itself to spell summon both that Fansies and that Lampsies to your side of the field, and here's the kicker. You have to put Prank-Kid's Fansies where Summon Sorceress would point to. Use your Roxies and your Dropsies for a link summon. Normally you guys would go into Prank-Kid's Dodle Doodle Doo. Now I'm going to go into Prank-Kid's Bow Wow Bark. And now we're going to trigger the effect of Dropsies gaining 1,000 life points, and Roxies, we're going to banish a card from our hand to draw a card and spell summon 2 more Prank-Kid's monsters to our side of the field. In this particular sequence, it does not matter which one of the Prank-Kid's monsters you summon to your side of the field. Whatever you summon, more often than not, you probably want to add it to your hand. So I'm going to go ahead and special summon a Prank-Kid's Lampsies back to my side of the field, mainly because Prank-Kid's Lampsies is the coolest looking one. Get it? Even though he's on fire. And then I'm going to spell summon Prank-Kid's Dropsies to my side of the field. This one is mandatory. From there, we're going to use one of our Lampsies and our Bow Wow Bark for a link summon into Summon Sorceress. And now Summon Sorceress targeting a Thunder monster can now spell summon a Thunder monster from your deck to your side of the field. We're going to spell summon Thunder Dragon Dark. Our Prank-Kid's Fansies and our Prank-Kid's Lampsy are going to be used for another link summon into Prank-Kid's Dodle Doodle Doo. Now, Dodle Doodle Doo's effect is going to trigger, and it's going to allow you to add a field spell from your deck to your hand in Prank-Kid's place. Go ahead and activate that Prank-Kid's place, and then use that effect to add your last copy of Prank-Kid's Dropsies from your deck to your hand. Here's where it gets complicated, ladies and gentlemen. Use that Summon Sorceress and that Thunder Dragon Dark for a link summon into your Nightmare Griffin. And now, let's say hypothetically we had a card like Call by the Grave in our hand. We can actually use our Nightmare Griffin to discard said card from our hand to the graveyard, or any card by that matter, to set it to our side of the field and draw a card since it is co-linked. From there on out, we're going to activate our effect of Thunder Dragon Dark. That's going to allow us to get Thunder Dragon Hawk from our decks to our hand. Where's that Thunder Dragon Hawk? Where you go, bro? Don't be hiding from me. I'm trying to show these people the combo. Okay, here you are. And then there's so many more things we can do, obviously, because the combo isn't done. We're going to pitch the Thunder Dragon Hawk to special summon Thunder Dragon Dark to our side of the field, and because we activated a Thunder Dragon monster from our hand, and we have a Thunder Dragon on our side of the field, or a Thunder monster on our side of the field, we contribute it for Thunder Dragon Colossus. Now, you really want to put the Colossus on top of the Nightmare Griffin, because the next monster can actually leave the field. And oh, by the way, I made this board without normal summoning. So we're going to go ahead and normal summon that Prank-Kid's Dropsies and use both of these monsters for an Exceed summon into totally awesome. The last part of our combo sequence that we can use our Prank-Kid's Dodle Doodle Doo to add 2 Prank-Kids cards from our graveyards to our hand. In this particular situation, I'm just gonna add Roxies and Lampsies, because the last part of the combo allows you to go so much more. Let's say hypothetically we have that Thunder Dragon Fusion in our hand. You can activate that Thunder Dragon Fusion, and you can shuffle both Prank-Kid's Fansies, Lampsies, and Dropsies back into your deck to special summon Prank-Kid's Battle Butler. This is insane, ladies and gentlemen. Not only can our opponent not search, those special summon monsters cannot activate their effects. Totally awesome, kind of prevents any other things from going down. We also have a walking Raigeki on our side of the field. So anytime our opponent wants to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Nah, fam, this is definitely a prank. This is a joke, because they're not playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Alright guys, I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I actually went to my other video just to go over some combos real quick, and one of the combos that was so fun to watch, other than me butchering the names of these cards, it requires instant fusion and any Trinkets monster. It's a very unique combo because it requires you to do some things that looks backwards, but at the same time it's like, you go boy, you doing them combos. I'm gonna go ahead and start off with using instant fusion to special summon Trinkets Weather Washer to my side of the field, and then I'm gonna go ahead and normal summon that Trinkets monster, hopefully Trinkets Fansies as well. Using both of these monsters for a link summon, we're gonna go ahead and make Trinkets Doodle Doodle Doo. And then use the effect of Fansies and Doodle Doodle Doo as Chain Link 1 and 2 respectively, sending Trinkets Plan and also special summoning Trinkets Dropsies to my side of the field. Doodle Doodle Doo is going to go ahead and allow me to add Trinkets Pandemonium from my deck to my hand. I'm then going to follow up by activating that Pandemonium. I'm going to fuse both Doodle Doodle Doo and Trinkets Dropsies for a fusion summon, I was going to say for a link summon for a second, to Trinkets Rocket Ride. Now that's going to trigger the effect of my Trinkets Dropsies. I get to special summon a Trinkets monster to my side of the field. I'm going to go ahead and special summon Trinkets Lampsies. In this particular situation, I bet you guys are wondering, TheCaliEffect, why did you fuse away your Doodle Doodle Doo? Well, it's simple, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to use Rocket Ride's effect to special summon that Doodle Doodle Doo back to our side of the field, and then also our Trinkets Dropsies. From there, we can go ahead and use Dropsies and Lampsies for another link summon into Trinkets Bow Wow Bark, inflicting damage to our opponent. Let's just say it's like this, inflicting more damage to our opponent and allowing us to special summon a Trinkets monster to our side of the field. Now this Trinkets monster has to be a monster that would be used for Battle Butler. So I'm going to go ahead and special summon Trinkets Lampsies back to my side of the field, and then I'm going to use Trinkets Doodle Doodle Doo to add Trinkets Plan and Trinkets Pandemonium to my hand. I'm going to set both of these cards face down, and on my opponent's turn, I can use Bow Wow Bark to add the last two remaining cards in Dropsies and Fansies to my hand. And then on top of that, I can activate the effect of Trinkets Pandemonium, fusing all three of these monsters for Trinkets Battle Butler, and then I can also activate the effect of Trinkets Plan, which would allow me, after I, wipe their board and do all that other crazy stuff, which would allow me to fusion summon or link summon into Bow Wow Bark, or just go ahead and go into Trinkets Doodle Doodle Doo. Obviously, I'd be summoning 3 new Trinkets monsters to my side of the field with the help of Dropsies, Lampsies, and Fansies. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so mean with it. I'm gonna take that whole combo that y'all just saw, both of the combos, and do a whole nother scheme with it. In this particular situation, you won't get the exact same board, the totally awesome Thunder Dragon Colossus insane board, but you also get a little bit of a better board than what you've seen from the last combo. So it takes the first combo and the last combo and kind of melds them together. In this particular sequence, you're gonna need instant fusion, a Trinkets card, it doesn't really matter, and a Trinkets monster in your hand. What we're gonna do is start off with that instant fusion. Obviously, I have 2 extra cards in my hand because I am an OG. Actually, that's normally how cards start off, or hands start off with. You're gonna go ahead and special summon that Trinkets Weather Washer to your side of the field, and then you're going to normal summon Trinkets Dropsies. Using Dropsies and Trinkets Weather Washer, you're gonna go ahead and link summon right into your Trinkets Doodle Doodle Doo. Now, in this particular situation, we're gonna use Doodle Doodle Doo as Chain Link 2, Trinkets Dropsies as Chain Link 1. We're gonna special summon to our side of the field Trinkets Fansies, and then use Doodle Doodle Doo to add Trinkets Pranks from our decks to our hand. I know you guys are like, Trinkets Pranks has a combo? Well, yes, it does. You are going to activate your Trinkets Pranks and then use this effect, discarding a Trinkets card from your hand to the graveyard to special summon a Trinkets token. And my boy, TJ, gave me the ultimate rare German Lila Lightsworn Angel for a token, just so we could swag on y'all. We flexing on our exes, doing it to perfection. We're gonna go ahead and use both of these monsters for a link summon. We are having too much fun. 2 special summon Bow Wow Bark to our side of the field. We're gonna trigger the effect of our Trinkets Fansies, 2 special summon Trinkets Roxies to our side of the field, and Fansies actually gets to send a Trinkets card from our deck to our graveyard and Trinkets Pandemonium. Here comes that tricky part, ladies and gentlemen, because we're actually going to use the Doodle Doodle Doo and the Trinkets Roxies for a link summon into another copy of Trinkets Doodle Doodle Doo. Now, I know you guys are probably thinking, TheCaliEffect, why would you do that? That doesn't even make any sense. Patience, my son. We're going to go ahead and use the effect of Trinkets Roxies. We're going to banish a card from our hand, draw a card, and then special summon a Trinkets Lampsies to our side of the field. And now you guys are starting to see why I'm so mean with it, because we're going to use Bow Wow Bark and Lampsies for an entirely different scheme with it, using both of those monsters for a link summon into Summon Sorceress. Summon Sorceress targeting the Doodle Doodle Doo. 2 special summon the Thunder Dragon Dark to our side of the field, and now Dark plus Summon Sorceress to make that Nightmare Griffin, pitching a card from our hand to the graveyard to set You can either set the Prank Kids plan, which actually won't do anything unless you can put more Prank Kids cards to your side of the field. You can set the Instant Fusion, which is pretty much a dead extender. What I found best is to set the Prank Kids Pandemonium and then draw a card from your decks to your hand. That's going to trigger the effect also of your Thunder Dragon Dark. You're going to go ahead and add Thunder Dragon Hawk. Using Thunder Dragon Hawk, pitch it to the graveyard, special summon Thunder Dragon Dark back to your side of the field, and then use it for a tribute summon since you activated the effect of a Thunder Monster to special summon Thunder Dragon Colossus to where Nightmare Griffin points to. Finally, you can use that Prank Kids Doodle Doodle Doo, tributing itself to add 2 Prank Kids monsters from your graveyard to your hand, and in this particular situation, I'm going to add Fansies and Lampsies. During my opponent's turn, even if they happen to get rid of the Thunder Dragon Colossus, they're going to have a problem because I can go Prank Kids Pandemonium, fusing both of these monsters into a Prank Kids Weather Washer on their turn to where Nightmare Griffin points to, so, they still wouldn't be able to pop off. And then when the turn's all over, I can actually trigger the effects of these 2 guys, spell summoning 2 more Prank Kids monsters to my side of the field, and then Weather Washer to special summon 2 more Prank Kids monsters to my side of the field. If I actually played that a little better, I can go ahead and special summon you and you to my side of the field, which does follow me up with a totally awesome play. Thank you guys so much for watching another segment of the Cali Effect. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give it a like, and if you really did, consider joining my Patreon because we have so many awesome rewards. Please like, comment, subscribe, but most of all, enjoy. I hope you guys are having a great day like I am.